Thank you so much, viewers, for coming back. My name is Lucy Wanjohi, and this is Lucy Wanjohi's YouTube channel. Thank you so much that if people are supporting us, we don't take your love and your support for granted. We are taking every opportunity with thanksgiving. And today, we want to discuss something very nice. We are talking about self-love. When you talk of self-love, it is loving yourself unconditionally, unapologetically. Those are the things we want to discuss today. We've seen that life is a bit busy, people are running up and down, and we are forgetting that we are supposed to love ourselves, because what we have is what people see. And how you see me is how, what comes out of me is maybe what is coming from the heart or the things that are working on. So if I'm eating well, things will show up. If I'm drinking enough water, that is what you are going to get. And that is why we decided that this is a good season for us to talk about self-love. Kujiamini tu, kujipenda, that is the topic today. And I have a friend of mine, her name is Gemma. I have invited her to the show so that we can talk and understand more about self-love. We want to dig deep and see what are the things we are supposed to do so that we can maintain even how we look, how we make our hair, how we relate with other people. That is the topic today. So karibu sana Gemma to the show. Jisikie ukiwa nyumbani, and let us dig deep and bring the topic on board. But first of all, I'll give you time to introduce yourself to my friends. Wasalimie kwa karibu sana to the show.
Asante sana Lucy.
Yeah.
My name is Gemma Mbugwa. I am a mother of 3. I am a student at the Presbyterian University of East Africa studying theology. Yes, and I'm glad to be here.
Wow, thank you so much for coming. Sasa Gemma, nataka tuongee kuhusu self-love, and according to me, I'm trying to explain and define what is self-love. And to me, it is loving yourself, it is accepting and, fighting for who you are. Because we've seen people forgetting that there was a place they were going after maybe someone you've dated, you got married, and now you have kids. And sometimes you forget. You have seen people adding weight, and I'm doing that, and I'm saying that out of with lots of humility. You've seen people, maybe there was something that you were doing, but maybe before you got busy, you were following on that. But after maybe getting busy, you forget yourself. So kindly, will you explain to us what does self-love mean to you?
Okay. Self-love to me means simply loving yourself, taking care of yourself, ensuring that you love yourself in a way that you take care of yourself, your daily routine. Yes, that is what I would say is self-care.
Love is all about. Na tunataka kuangalia tuone ya kwamba like me, maybe when I tell someone that I am a mother, sometimes you hear somebody saying, ni kweli, and I'm telling them for sure I am a mother. So tunataka kuangalia tujiulize aje, nini nimekusaidia kufika mahali umefika? Like now you were telling me that you are a mother of 3. Na nikikuangalia hivi, you don't look like a mother of 3. So what are the things you do, your daily routine, tuseme umeamka, unafanya nini to maintain what we can see hapa?
Okay. I would say to maintain this look, number one, you have to take care of yourself. Your hygiene comes first, and then again you have to watch what you eat. You take care of yourself physically, even mentally, and even spiritually. You take care of yourself. And my daily routine, I would say, is I wake up in the morning. I like taking a shower. The first thing I wake up,
Wow, nice.
Before anything else, I take a shower. I brush my teeth.
Yeah, nice.
Yes. And I also, before taking, like 30 minutes before taking any any other kind of drink, I drink a glass of water.
A glass of water.
Yes.
That is very nice. Okay, for me, let me give an example of what I do. First of all, I think before I do anything else, for me, I take, I don't know whether it is medically right or wrong, but that is what I do. I take a full liter of water, and I wouldn't take anything else. Maybe from, I wake up at around 4:30 or 5, take water, and then I'll give myself time until 11 a.m. That is when I'll eat breakfast, and this thing has been the routine of my life. So before I take a shower, before I do anything, for me, I would take water. And for example, I have seen that thing working so well to me, because even after I gave birth to my kids, I think there is that season of adding weight, but maybe drinking water before anything else, I think it really helps me to lose weight very fast. And I like it, by the way. And when you talk about the routines, I think that is something that I cannot remove to my life. Even if I am busy, I am tired or something, I make sure boiled water sleeps next to me with a full jug of full of water next to my bed, so that when I wake up in the morning, that is the first thing I will do. And there is no excuse to that. I don't know whether other women who are watching, that is what they do. But I'm not saying it is medically right, somebody to get me correctly, but I'm saying about my routine. So for me, I'll take water. Nimesema ni maji nyingi. Saa zingine I even take 2 liters. I don't know. But it has really helped me. I don't struggle with things like weight. I don't struggle with things like maybe, other things that are related to not drinking water. Then now after taking shower, now I'll go to work, or maybe I'll find myself to the university. And number 2 for me, I don't eat a lot. Kuna watu wanakula chakula mingi, Jema. So I'll eat, I'm not a good person who eats healthy, but I'll make sure I'm eating the right portions. Kidogo tu, ya kutuma ni survive. So I think taking water is my thing, and also not eating too much. And also for me, I don't like junk food naturally. I don't eat wheat a lot, but once in a while, when you talk about loving yourself, you usually could treat sometimes, but I don't eat junk food, I don't take sodas completely, I don't. So that is the point, that is the thing. So for me, I have never struggled with weight because maybe I know of taking water. Something else, Gemma, that I do is I'm not a good person with exercise. We talk of exercising, but I don't. Literally, I don't. The only thing I can say I do is maybe when I'm doing cleaning in my house once in a while, and also, but I walk a lot. Sometimes when you have a car, you become lazy. You don't want to walk. You're moving from one position to another, you are driving yourself, and maybe that has created a room for being lazy. So for me, I intentionally make sure that I walk. So walking for me, I can say that is the exercise. So after taking water, I will exercise by walking. So I make sure that I'm not lazy. The rest of the thing is before the day ends, I'll take shower again, maybe before going to bed. And now I'll moisturize my skin. My skin is not the best, but I'll make sure that after the hassles and bustles of the day, after the sweating and stuff like that, I'll take a shower. And I feel so good, it refreshes you, and then I'll moisturize. So those are the routines that have really helped me so much, because I wouldn't promise that I get enough sleep. We are being told about sleeping well. I'm okay. My life it's very busy, so me sleeping for even 6 hours is a challenge. But I try balancing, maybe where I get a chance to rest. So explain to us, Gemma, maybe some of the routines that have been so helpful to you. Maybe you can share with our viewers.
Okay. Apart from what I've just said, I also take care of my diet. I don't just eat anything that I come across.
Yeah.
Yes, I try to avoid junk also a lot. I try to avoid and food with a lot of oil, deep fried food. Those ones I really try to avoid. And also things like sodas too.
You don't think?
No, I don't.
Nice.
Rarely. I take time before I find myself taking. And I love vegetables.
Really?
I do a lot of vegetables, yes, every day.
Wow.
I love vegetables, fruits, all that. Yes, that is what I can say when it comes to eating the routines and what I feed on. I'm very particular.
You are very selective.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
So there is this thing, Gemma, that we talk of differentiating between self-love and being selfish. And maybe if I go first, because this is a very nice conversation, I'm enjoying it, to differentiate between self-love and selfishness. For me, I wouldn't be confused differentiating the two, because self-love, tumesema ni kujipenda, si ndio? Even the scriptures in the Bible says, love yourself, love other people as you love yourself. So I think loving yourself comes first, si ndio? And therefore, when you talk of loving yourself first or self-love before you even love other people, I think you give what you have in hand. Yes. What you carry is what you give to other people. And for me, I would say self-love, it is not something that I struggle with, and I cannot confuse it or maybe with being selfish, because I try to share a lot. And I love people, I love my children, I love everyone who is around me. So, but self-love for me, like now when we say about the routines of the day, these are the things that you do by yourself, no one else who can help you. Like, for example, if you're saying about moisturizing, you have to do it yourself. So how selfish are you doing that? When you say about taking a shower before bed, how selfish is that? That is personal. So to me, I don't struggle between self-love or self-care and also loving other people.
Yes, okay. Personally, I find there's a thin line between self-love and selfishness.
Yeah.
Yes, because sometimes, there's that feeling, you feel like, maybe I'm doing so much for myself and I feel like I'm neglecting the others.
I know.
And at times, maybe it's only that you've taken care of yourself after some time, and you start feeling like you're neglecting the other, especially the children, people who are close to you, Even maybe you want to go out and just have some fun, enjoy yourself. But as you're seated there, you are like, maybe I'm neglecting the others, maybe my children or my husband, Is that guilt, is that thin line. But, you collect yourself and decide, now also I have a life. I also have a life. I have to live a life. I have to take care of myself, even if I am taking over other people's lives.
And before they came, by the way, it was you.
Yeah, it was me.
I know.
So I find that thin line, but I try balancing the two.
Wow.
Yeah, I try balancing as much as I can, not to be selfish, or not even being selfish. Feeling, it's like a feeling. You feel selfish, and now loving others. Yes.
Let me ask you, Gemma, because sometimes how important is self-love kwako? Because sometimes we forget about taking care of ourselves. Like now when we talk about struggling in weight, and when you talk of that with lots of humility, and also you see someone who was looking nice before they started a relationship or before they got married, they were looking nice, and then boom, something happens. You're wondering, what happened? What can you say? Did they neglect themselves, or maybe what they were practicing, or what comes after people are married? Because we've seen, like now, what is happening in the society right now. There is something very trendy about men leaving their women at home. The legally married woman, and then there is another young woman, a beautiful, pretty somebody, mwenye anatembea with your husband, and then you wonder, before we met, we loved each other, and then you're wondering what happened, what changed. And then you've seen women before you started life with your husband, maybe there was no finances, you are struggling here and there were no jobs, and then all of a sudden you see the blessing starts coming, and then your husband start lifting and going higher, and then the woman is just left at the ground without maybe empowering herself, without even, maybe you're blessed to even have cars in your home, you don't know even how to drive. You even wait for your husband to come drive you to church, to the hospital, or to where you're going. So when you talk about self-love, with those things that you are seeing in the society, does it make your man to even leave you to go to another empowered woman? Ama unaona hii mambo iko aje?
I think normally happens when people get into marriage, kuna ile kuzoeana. You know, you take it like, nimemzoea, amenizoea.
I know.
So unajiachilia tu. You know, if you used to wear makeup, you stop wearing makeup. Unaweza amka tu na nywele inakaa vile inataka, you stay the whole day, you know, you don't groom yourself, unakaa na nguo za kulala the whole day, you know. I think that also really, hiyo kuzoeana, it is affecting the married people, I would say, the ones who are in relationship. Another thing, watoto wakikuja, when the children come, there is a tendency of one neglecting themselves. I was once there. You were once there. I was once there. You know, when the children come, all the attention goes to the child.
And then you see.
And I'm busy with the child throughout, tired. You know.
The baby was crying the whole night.
The whole night.
So you're wondering, will I wear makeup?
Yes.
Or will I even take a shower or sleep?
It is very hard. It becomes very hard when the children come.
Yeah.
But also, I think as women, as much as hard it is, I know it is very hard for women. You know, it's hard balancing children, husband, and self-love. It is very hard. So what I think one should do, as much as it is hard, just try to groom yourself, even to balance. You look kind of you try. It's not easy. It is not easy. But you try. Kama is like that issue you're saying. Or at there is a car at home. At hata kukikuwa na mgonjwa in that home.
You're calling the neighbor.
Yes.
Can you call my child is not feeling well. My husband is away.
And the car is there, the kids are there. You've never even attempted kujua inaendeshango aje hata hapo kwa compound tu.
It's wrong.
You know?
I know.
You know? I think it is good for us to empower. To get empowered. Hata hizo vitu ndogo ndogo. Unaona kama unaweza ona nikaa si kitu ati kubwa. But those small things, you try and empower yourself. And that way, hautabaki pale chini, and the husband is rising. And utaona maybe sometimes, I'm not saying that is the reason why men they are moving out. I'm not saying that isn't. Kuna watu wako tu na hiyo tabia. No matter what you do, they will still go.
I know.
You know.
They are disgusting.
So, the thing is, I think it is good. Hata uji upgrade. It is good.
Hata akikuja, mimi naona jema. Even if your man goes, not necessarily you're married. Or unajua kuna even you're dating and then you're dating somebody and he will go for a better version than you, and then you're like comparing and you're wondering aliniacha akaendea the other person, why? So when we talk about self-care, it's not just taking care of your body. It is even empowering yourself, as you say. If there is that car, know how to drive it. Jipeleke shule, jifanye ni empower yourself. And also we are saying, don't give excuses that you're busy, you have kids. Give yourself time and create even time to learn something new by you. That is very important. So Gemma, there is this question. How do we balance? How do we balance between self-care and now the responsibilities? We are busy, we are career women, up and running, we have kids. How do we balance between self-love, self-care, and now the other responsibilities? How do you balance those things?
What you normally do, number one, know how to plan yourself. Have a routine. Yes,
that is
plan yourself. No, at this time, this particular time, I'm supposed to be doing this. Make sure you're there doing that.
Make sure you're there.
Yes, what you're supposed to be doing. Plan yourself very well. As hard as it is very hard, but just plan yourself. Jua kama nafaa kuwa in school,
be there.
Empowering myself, be there.
And
that
still
particular
doing
time.
your responsibilities
Yes.
nyumbani.
Yes.
Kama ni watoto unaendea shule,
Yes.
make sure there is no excuse to that. I don't know the miracle we shall do at your balancing all that. You know, being in different places.
It is doable.
It is doable. How do you
Yes.
manage? By the way, you are a mother, Gemma. You there are so many. You are a business lady.
Yes.
You told me that. You are a student doing theology and all the other things that you do. And now being a mother and so many things. How do you balance? Kwako, how does it work?
You know what I'll say is just knowing where I'm supposed to be at the right time.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. If it is like I've just said, ukijiplan, you know the time you're waking up. You know, by the time you figure 8, I'm supposed to have dropped a child to school and gone to my business or gone to school.
Yeah.
You know, when the two umejipanga hivyo.
Until inaenda imejipanga.
Yeah,
Let us talk to, thank you, Jenna. Let us talk to a woman who is giving excuses because you've seen the trend. You know, there is that generation which is passing, that men were the ones who are working, and then the women were stay-at-home moms. And then out of that working, then you find there is somebody else who is competing with you. And maybe sometimes you're even noticing there is someone, they already have kids. You don't know, go to mama nyumbani. And then maybe you've seen even in the barrios, unaona tu mtu ametokea from nowhere with the kids. Na dizaa lini hata haujui. And it is the person who is responsible of all that it is your husband. So nini inafika, unaona, maybe you agreed. Sometimes it's an agreement between a husband and a wife. Wanasema you stay at home, let me go hustle. And then what happens at our balance? Kuna mahali inafika unaachwa continue being a mama wa nyumbani, mimi wacha niende na career woman. How does that thing happen? Unaona kama ni shida ni nini?
I think it is sad. But I also think there's a place that reaches and there's lack of communication in that house. You know? And when there's that lack of communication, maybe that is where you find the woman is left behind. Is left behind, and the husband maybe goes and finds this working lady, which is very sad because I think a man, as a man, one should be able to empower the wife or the
woman he loves.
Yes,
yeah,
you should be able to empower her. Kwa sababu even that one that you have gone and found there, you know, it's still a woman, yes, but an empowered woman. You see, an empowered woman. Yes. So empower even this one. Yeah. That you're living at home, but also you as a woman who's being left at home.
Do something. Call yourself a meeting. Yes. I think we should call ourselves a meeting.
Because sometimes you might wait for someone to empower you, you might wait forever.
Thank you. I think that is, oh my God, we should underline that.
Yes.
You wait for somebody to empower you, and they are not there. Yeah. I think the next thing we are going to see is him going for another person and leaving you there. Because you wait for him to start a business for you. And then I think you're giving excuses. Hakuniekea kazi, hakufanya nini, hakunitafutia kazi, sijui, siku upgrade, siku soma. Those are the excuses women are giving. And that is why we are saying it is upon us to call ourselves. I think the loud voice. You call Lucy, wake up from where you're sleeping. Thank you so much.
That is part of taking care of yourself.
That is self-care, by the way.
Self-care.
And then in the society, you excuse yourself, you're raising children, you're doing what you when uko na ng'ombe uko, the other woman who is coming, you don't even, yani, she's coming to the picture and then you're wondering, oh my God, where did I go wrong?
Where did I go wrong?
I lost my way. And then even retrieving, going back, you see, it's a very long journey. Because it's a number of years before the man, amekuacha and going for another person. So Gemma, you're saying, despite being busy, create time to empower yourself and to love yourself. Yes. Explain more about that.
You know, when I'm talking about creating time, that comes out of loving yourself. Creating time comes out of loving yourself. You first love yourself. Love the person you are. Once you love yourself, Now you start seeing the loopholes. Hapa nafaa nifanye hivi. Out of self-love. You're not even criticizing yourself. Even you kujicriticize ni vizuri. Ndio ujue niko hapa. And I'll begin from here, going this way. You know? So jipende, create your time, you know, have that clear. It may not be very clear, but it will go. It will keep on getting clearer as you move. Yes, but don't just sit there. Unajichukia, una feel like the world is against you. Everyone is against you. People are doing well. Kwanza, usiwe mtu mwenye you feeling pity, sorry for yourself.
You're so sorry for yourself.
Don't feel sorry for yourself.
Do something.
Do something. Ninaanzia hapa, nikielekea hivi, it may not be very clear, but itaenda ikiget.
There is something I want us to talk about, Gemma, as we proceed. Maybe where you are, because I think you're a very good example. You're a mother, you're a wife, you're a business lady, you are in school. When did you realize that you need to do something? Because kuna watu wamesoma maybe before they get married or before. How come you were shule and you still married and you raising kids at this time? Kulifika wapi ukajiita mkutano ukasema mi wacha nikasome.
You know, nilijiita mkutano as you're saying.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, you know, there are things I'm passionate about. And I'm passionate about serving God, you know, ministry. And as I was seated doing other things, you know, nilijiambia, you know what, not going back to school is being lazy. Sometimes it can be a hindrance of finances because it took time before I could come to get finances to come back to go to school, you know. But nilijiita hivyo unasema mkutano, and I told myself, this is being lazy. Because nitakaa hapa mpaka lini nikisema I'm doing this and that, taking care of all other things, but this thing that I'm passionate about, I am not taking care of. So I decided, you know what, let me dust myself, and enroll, and I'll make it. And I told myself, you know what, I'll make it. I told myself that.
And you can see that.
Yes.
So talk to a woman, Gemma, mwenye ako pale nyumbani, ako in the situation that you are in maybe years back, before you made a decision that you want to come back to school, you want to start all over again. I know women will be watching this show. Can you talk to them? Mwenye amekaa hapo, asking where am I starting from, what will I do, where will I get finances? Because I think finances is not the big issue. I think it's the will and the wish from your heart and the desire that I want to change my life, right? So talk to that woman who is seated at home, anangojea mzee atoke kazi. Ameosha nyumba iko safi, watoto maybe wametoka shule, hata wako midterm, by the way, wako sawa pale, and then waiting for a husband to come home, and then the routine continues. Advise that woman, mwambie tu aanze wapi.
Okay. To that lady, we seated at home. First is to tell them that they are doing a good job. Even if they are just seated at home and taking care of the family, is that they are doing a commendable job. Yeah. That is a ministry in its own way, you know. But what I would like to tell them is that they should love themselves first, know what they want to do with their lives, and they know that their lives matter. Taking care of others is okay. It is good. But know yourself, love yourself, know what you want to do, and start from there. Once you know what you want to do, now from there, there's no hindrance. There will be no hindrance. The hindrance will be only you. You and your mtu jiekea, mtu ndio jiekea the obstacle, you know. So siwezi, sijui nini, yes, such things like siwezi, alafu najiekeanga zile sababu mingi sana. Najiekeanga sababu za kutofanya vile unataka. No, don't just love yourself. Jua hivyo ndio unataka kufanya, hivi na hivi ndio unataka kufanya, and you start from there.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, this is very nice. I think we are coming to the end of the show. But now, before we wind up, I want us to insist on, talking to yourself and discovering that the vision is with me, the dream is me. If I'm not here, the dream is dead. So I'm wondering, why are you waiting for the other person to come and push your dream forward? Because now I'm thinking, even if maybe you're married to a man with lots of wealth and stuff like that, that is the trends which is going on. And then you're comfortable with your 24 hours. Can you imagine just staying at home? And now I'm finding as if that, even if maybe you provided with each and everything that you want, and then you can, you can show it off, you're driving a car, you have things, but there is that thing that you feel you are unsatisfied because you're living somebody else's life. So talk to that woman, Gemma, when you're too happy, you're living someone else's life. Yes. Or for example, there is a place you knew you were going, you had a vision, you had a purpose, and then all of a sudden you forgot all that, as you've said, about even now loving your kids, and then you forget yourself. Maybe there is this husband, you take care of him until maybe you spoil him out of so many things that you are doing for him. And then you forget that there was me, there was Gemma in me, there was a girl, there was somebody with a vision. There is a place I was going, I had a vision, I had a dream. Talk to that woman. When yako tu pale, just staying, hana mwelekeo, amekaa tu hivyo. A day is just like any other day. What can you tell that woman?
I would tell her, yeye ni wa maana sana. She has a purpose in his life to fulfill. Yes, that is what I would tell her. She has a purpose. She should just go out and get what she deserves. Yes.
Ambie tu mahali popote pale. Asante sana Gemma for coming to the show. And before we wind up, there are things that maybe 1, 2, 3 things for me I would like to talk about. And number one, I would like to say that we are all born differently to fulfill a certain purpose in life. And for example, if I try give my experience, as my life is public, it is all on YouTube, you can go view my story. And I want to encourage somebody who feels discouraged that God is a God of second chances, Gemma. And God is a God who answers prayers. I know for sure He did that to me. And the most important thing, I have seen God leading me from one stage to another. There is a time I wouldn't have seen myself even hosting a show. But see where God has taken us from and where we are going. And I remember there is this thing we call a wake-up call and not settling for less. Because sometimes we feel we are so comfortable. And that is why when we talk about taking the topic like self-love, you're very comfortable. Need a comfort zone. You're very comfortable. There is nothing that makes you even wake up in the morning. But I want to encourage my fellow women and tell them that it is good to wake up, to do something. Not just waking up with no program, but you just wake up, take a breakfast, lunch, supper. That is even a boring life to live, Cindy. So even if you're just waking up to go volunteer, that is a call. It is something that maybe it will pay. Just go give back even to the society. Just find something that you can do. Because this is why we are seeing that despite all the things that God has done to us, please try to do something. Don't settle for less, because we all have a purpose to fulfill. Cynthia, I remember as I was sharing sometimes back, I knew there was no way I could have come this far. But out of believing in myself and also trusting God, God has seen me through. And that is a testimony to share. So when you talk about self-love, it comes from the heart. By the way, it comes from the heart. It is a drive that only you can drive it. Because as you've said, there is nobody who can carry your dream. It is you seeing the vision. It is you who have the dream. And when you wait for somebody else to come drive it or to come push it, there is no way that person is going to come. So even if you are a mother, please remember that there is somewhere you're going and you have a purpose in life. There is this thing we call self-care. Even if you you're taking care of your children, I believe there is still that space that cannot be filled by anyone. Cindy, it is only you who can fill it. For example, you take care of your kids, they grow and go, you know. You take care of your husband. I remember maybe the other time you were getting married, and then within a number of years, 10 years are gone. And then your husband keep on climbing, going, becoming and pursuing and exploring the world. Now you go to pale waiting for your husband to come home in the evening or something like that. So this is something that we call self-love and self-care. I know there are stresses in marriages, by the way. You have a husband, you're not in good terms. Imagine staying at home, you're not even in good terms. He went to have a fresh air, even if it's in a workplace and you are staying at home. Can you imagine now? You just sat by yourself, seated at home, and somebody else went. So by the time that many years goes by, you will feel it is becoming boring. So and that is why we are saying self-care is very important. So thank you so much, Gemma, for coming to the show. And as we remind our viewers that they need to love themselves first. Take care of yourself. Don't give an excuse that you're raising children, right? Don't give an excuse that you have a husband, Cindy. Don't give an excuse that you're too busy at home. Now you cannot even love yourself. You cannot take yourself to school. You cannot empower yourself. Those are the things we are saying no. And again, I know this is a modern life, by the way, Gemma.
Yes.
Yes, maisha ya kitambo siliisha.
Iliisha sasa.
Sindio?
This
is another era.
Yes.
Ati mzee analeta na wewe unaleta.
Mnaleta nyinyi wote.
Si ni nyinyi wote? Mna combine. Si ati unamgoja alete unga. Wewe tafuta ya mboga.
Yes.
Mkutane chakula hivi, si ndio? Yes. Kama ninyi ni watu wa kulipa rent, yes. Anakuja na rent yake, na wewe unafanya kitu kingine.
And there will be growth in the family.
Si ndio?
Yes.
Na kusaidiana at the same time. Usipatie mzee baggage mingi. Paying rent, school fees for the kids. Hata wewe pia kulipia school fees. Are you still there? Enda tu hapo nje uanze kukatakata sukuma. I think that is where to start. That's something. Yes. And let me tell you, Gemma, according to what I've seen in life, you know, God orders our steps.
Yes.
If you start something, bro, the other day ungekuwa hapa. Now you're telling me you're a business lady, you coming to school, your mother, your nini, and so many things. Lakini ukianza you didn't see.
No, I didn't see. Bila tu kujiamini.
Unajiamini. Yes. Thank you so much. So thank you our viewers for watching our show. We are so much delighted that you people created time to sit and listen to us. We want to invite you to follow us on YouTube. Lucy Wanjohi, that is the name of the show. So keep following us. As we've said, that we don't just create time to come speak nothing. We come here to speak sense. We come here to create a good content that you can feel comfortable, and again, something that you can learn and make use of it. Like for instance, today we are talking about self-care, self-love. Love yourself. Usikae hapo umejichukia. And I know in the world, there is no one who will come to love you if you don't love yourself. So love yourself, and us as the society, we are going to see the fruits, and that is what we are going to follow. So ukijipenda, pia society inajifunza kukupenda. So love yourself, take care of yourself, drink water, eat healthy, dress well sometimes. Sometimes, all the time. We try, by the way. Si ati today umevaa hivi, kesho nayo, you're dressing lesser, dress well, attending in all occasions, by the way. Usikuwe tu ni pale mahali ati when you're invited to go speak or when you're invited to attend a party, that is when you're doing a makeup, that is the time you're taking care of yourself. No, we are saying taking care of ourselves, it is our daily routine. That is where we end our show today. Keep watching and don't forget to subscribe. We'll be back with another story, with another content. We wish you well. Thank you so much.